We are so different, and we just like fit together and work well together. And in our spare time, we work. That's what we do. We build houses, we build cabins, we renovate, we build. I go to school. He does everything else while I'm in school. Whatever. We just work well together, right? So, this is our thing. This what we're doing, we do together. And thank you for working with me. You may know, I'm a nurse. I'm also an assistant professor at Kennesaw State University. And I love my job. It's a full-time job, y'all. So this is like what I do after work. I teach community health. I also teach professionalism and ethics and a new elective called Nursing and Faith Communities. I'm so grateful to Kennesaw State for supporting me in what I'm doing. My research has been this. So what I've done is looked at ways to enhance well-being through intergenerational relationships for our friends, our older adults, neurotypical peers, because we're meant to be in community. So that's really my focus at Kennesaw State, and I'm so grateful that that's what I get to do. What?
I'm an accountant. I own an accounting practice, and we help small businesses, medium-sized and small businesses succeed. So, but I have a full-time job as well. That's what I do. And as Diane said, we kind of do this after our jobs. And so you might be thinking, well, how did we ever come to this? What do we do? Well, first and foremost, we've lived this. You know, we've experienced firsthand what families that have loved ones with IDD go through. We've experienced the struggles and the challenges that we face each and every day. But most importantly, and most probably by design, the Lord laid this in our path.
So several years ago, I was sitting in church and I felt a shove, not a gentle nudge, you know, we get a nudge or a poke, but this was a shove, it's time to do something. It was when the pastor was reading, we are the body of Christ, and it takes all of us to complete that body, and we are missing some of our friends. We have to make a way to include our friends in the community, and it's not happening unless we make it intentional. And so that kind of started my thought process, because at that time, you know, I lived with Hayden, and he was nearing graduation, and we had to make a way, make a place for him. So that's what led to us being involved in this. As a nurse, I invited several people. My friend Lauren Farrell, get over here, Lauren. She named Circle Friends, by the way. Anna Cheryl, over here somewhere. So I can't see my paper and my people, so I have to look at the paper, sorry. And Jennifer Lorenz. And Jennifer is somewhere. Yes. Okay, so they joined me with some other folks from Hickory Flight United Methodist, and we planned a town hall where we wanted to invite people with and without disabilities to understand what are the current services, what are the needs, and what can we do to help. So we did what's called a targeted community assessment. We had the town hall with about 100 people, and the survey feedback told us the top needs, there were about 10 identified, but the top 3 are our strands that Nick talked about. And they're interwoven strands. They're not pillars because they have to work together. So it's social opportunities, supportive employment, and supportive attainable housing. We are here because we need to work on that 3rd strand. We started with a small group, Kelly, Mary, David, and Joanne. We started, and we worked hard for quite a long time, just us, and had a whole lot of fun. So thank you guys for being there from the very beginning. It is a disease developmental disorder that starts before the age of 18 and is expected to last a lifetime. And some of the diagnoses on that spectrum include autism, cerebral palsy, Down syndrome, fetal alcohol syndrome, Fragile X, and Tourette's. IDD is a group of diagnoses that encompasses a very broad range of abilities and support needs. Many of you know Hayden. Thankfully, after a few very chaotic months, he is here with us tonight. Hayden, thank you for being the inspiration for my dissertation and for my life's work. I love you too, Hayden. So before we adopted Hayden, Glenn and I saw a video with some children from the orphanage in Romania, and they were playing a song in the background. The song was by Michael W. Smith, called A Place in This World. The video and words moved us to tears when we saw it, and about 1 year later, we flew across the ocean to bring him home, to find his place in this world. I think you'll agree, along with Victoria and Haley, his siblings, we've had a lot of fun as a family, and our home was filled with love and laughter and a little bit of chaos. We have incredibly supportive extended families. We have the Dominiques and the Clements over there, and they were a part of the chaos as well. It was a lot of chaos to grow up with the Keens. And the Wagners, oh, the Wagners, where are they? Yeah, oh my God, the Wagners. So all the boys and Hayden, what a wild bunch that was. So the song, I'm going to read you a couple of verses from the song called A Place in This World. And this is what has broken my heart. I want you to really think about this. The wind is moving, but I am standing still. A life of pages waiting to be filled. A heart that's hopeful, a head that's full of dreams. But this becoming is harder than it seems. Feels like I'm looking for a reason, roaming through the night to find my place in this world. Not a lot to lean on. I need your light to help me find my place in this world. Here we are again. The words echo in my head. You are almost 30 years old, Hayden, and you're desperate to find your place in this world. I understand. As an adult, sleeping in your childhood bedroom is not okay. And Hayden, you are not alone. It is estimated that 2% of the population has an intellectual or developmental disability. If we apply this to our population in Cherokee County, we have about 4,000 adults with IDD in the county. A national survey identified 21% of adults with IDD are served by state agencies, which would be about 800 residents in Cherokee County. That leaves about 3,200 people without any services. And our friends experience co-occurring disorders at a much higher rate than people without disabilities. Over 40% of our friends with IDD experience depression, compared to 10% of people without a disability. The prevalence of obesity, diabetes, and heart disease are much higher in people with disabilities as well. Of the adults with IDD who receive support, 60% remain in their family homes. Only 11% live in their own home. Others live in group homes or host homes, and sadly a few remain in institutions. We as a community and as a nation need to address these health-related social needs, which have the potential to reduce overall healthcare costs and enhance health and well-being. This is a wicked and complex problem, one that we cannot solve on our own. We don't have enough knowledge, enough skills, enough resources, enough money to tackle this monumental task. But collectively, we do have enough. I believe if a determined group of people and a persistent group come together, we can solve this issue, and we will solve this issue. We need to develop resources to change the trajectory of the lives of our friends and the entire community.